From past few days, it's been raining cats and dogs in Bangalore. You can see the condition of my motorcycle here and it's completely covered in dirt. This video doesn't focus on how to wash your motorcycle but how to protect it from external conditions. It can be extreme sun or even rain. Also prepare your chain dry system for the rainy season so that it can perform better and also stay protected from corrosions. So without wasting much time, let's get into the actual video, starting with washing the motorcycle. Here I'm getting the bike washed in the nearby local service center. You can wash your bike yourself or get it washed by nearby any washing stations. You can sit and watch the washing process, or if you want to directly jump into the maintenance part, you can skip to this part of the video. Alright, the place where you get your motorcycle washed, if they doesn't have a place to dry your motorcycle, or if they don't dry your motorcycle by themselves, I suggest you to get a microfiber cloth along with you so that you can dry your motorcycle before riding it back home. Riding your bike wet will collect a lot of dirt, which will eventually cause waterlogging marks or even cause micro scratches on your paint or swirl marks if you try to clean it out. Now let's jump into the video. So after washing your motorcycle, the first step is to clean your motorcycle chain. To make it neat, I have cut a cardboard in this shape and I'm going to insert it between the sprocket and the wheel itself. I have one more cardboard to collect all the dirt that is falling out of the chain itself. Now I will be using a chain cleaner from Motul. You can use any brand, but I have choose Motul here and I've been using this from very long time. You can also use diesel for the same, and this particular one also does the job. Start spraying the chain cleaner on every links of your chain. Make sure that you focus the chain cleaner on the O-rings. Spray down the entire chain and let it soak for some time. We also need to clean the front sprocket area, so in order to do that, let's open the front sprocket cover as shown in the video. Now spray down the chain cleaner onto the front sprocket area, focusing on all the nooks and corners. Now using the other end of the chain cleaner brush, I am cleaning the sprocket area as shown. Agitate all the sludge buildup that is there in the front sprocket area. Also using the same brush, agitate all the sludge buildup that is there on the chain itself. Scrub entire sprocket and chain thoroughly with the brush. Add more chain cleaner if necessary. Do not forget to scrub the inner surface of the entire chain and agitate all the dirt and grime out of the chain links. Once this is done, use a clean piece of cloth to wipe the entire chain down and make it pristine clean condition. While you clean the inner surface of your chain, always push your chain in this direction and not in that direction. If you don't do so, chances are that your finger might get stuck in the sprocket, so always make sure that you rotate your wheel in the clockwise direction. Now clean the front sprocket and its mounting hardware and focus cleaning on all the nooks and corners of the front sprocket area. Make sure that you also clean the inner bracket lining by placing the cloth between the rear bracket and the sprocket and rotate the sprocket in the clockwise direction. Do this process couple of times to get the entire front sprocket area thoroughly cleaned. Now after cleaning the sprocket cover, install the sprocket cover back onto the motorcycle. Secure it bolts and tighten it in a crisscross pattern. So while choosing which chain loop to use, I have two options to consider here. One, the regular spray type chain loop, which focus on almost all the types of O-ring, X-ring and Z-rings. Being a spray type chain loop, it is pretty easy to apply. Provided the spray nozzle, it doesn't take much time for application. However, when it comes to the C5 chain paste from Motul, this is a thick paste type chain loop which is similar to what the manufacturer provides along with the new set of chain and sprockets. This particular one has a brush type applicator, and by squeezing the tube, you get the chain paste flowing through the applicator brush, and by which you can focus this chain paste onto the O-rings of your chain. When the chain spray is very easy to use, it can fade away when it exposed to high water conditions. However, the chain paste stays for a longer time and doesn't splash over to the rims, by which it can be a good choice if you are using this, especially when it comes to the rainy conditions. Both the chain loop does this job, and I'll be using C5 here, and you can choose whichever you feel like using. So let's jump into the video. In order to apply this chain paste, you have two options to consider. One, through the applicator brush, which will take ages to cover up the entire chain. Since the chain paste is pretty viscous in nature, it will take a lot of effort to push this chain paste through the applicator brush. So instead, what I'll be doing is, I'll be removing this applicator brush from the tube, and I'll be using one old toothbrush for application purpose. Squeezing adequate amount of chain paste onto the toothbrush and gently apply it on the chain links as shown. Focus on applying this chain paste onto the O-rings rather than on the link itself. The rollers and the link not necessarily need the chain paste, but the O-rings does need its lubrication. Take more chain paste and cover up entire chain as shown in the video. Once it is done, slightly lube the links itself to avoid any rust formation on the chain links. This is how the chain looks after properly covering the entire chain with the C5 chain paste. Now let's protect the paint of a motorcycle. This is a freshly washed painted parts of a motorcycle, and even though it looks neat, it is not protected against the UV rays. UV rays from the sun can damage the panels and can dull the painted parts, and also can damage the plastic panels and form cracks or even fade with time. So now let's see how to protect your bike panels from UV rays and protect it so that it stays new for a longer time. I will be using this Formula 1 Carnauba wax for protecting all the painted parts of the motorcycle. This is not a paid promotion as such, as I am using this particular Carnauba wax from the day one I got this motorcycle. This particular one lasts for a long time, and I have been using this from past 7 years, and this is the second container that I bought. Opening the container, you can see how much of Carnauba wax I have used already. Now let me show you how to use this. Take small amount of Carnauba wax onto the applicator sponge that has been provided and gently spread across onto the painted surface. Apply the wax onto all the surfaces that is painted, and I will fast forward this process for you. This is how the entire tank looks now after applying the Carnauba wax. Now let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes and let it soak for some time. If you take a close look, you can see this Carnauba wax getting hazed up, and this is pretty normal And this is exactly what we are looking for from the carnauba wax. While it's soaking, let's move on to protecting the plastic panels. I'm using this Moto Max dashboard polish for all the plastic non-painted panels of my motorcycle. Take small amount of this dashboard polish onto a clean piece of cloth or a sponge and spread it evenly as shown. Now apply this polish onto the panels and spread it evenly across. If necessary, wipe the panels down with a clean piece of cloth. Repeat this process for all the plastic panels that is there in your motorcycle. You can see this is a treated part which is protected from UV rays, and this is the untreated part, and you can see the difference clearly. Continue applying this dashboard polish onto the all plastic panels in order to protect it against the UV rays. I do not want to bore you out, so I'll fast forward this entire process down. So this is before applying the protectant and this is after, and you can clearly see the difference here. This is the before and after, before and after, and before, after, and finally this is the before and after. I have applied this dashboard polish onto the side panels and also on other parts like seat cowl, radiator guards and other plastic panels of my motorcycle. By this time, the carnauba wax might be fully dried up and it's time to wipe this up. Using a microfiber cloth or a clean piece of cloth, wipe the entire wax down and polish it thoroughly. This will create depth in the paint and your paint will shine like new and also stay protected from sunlight. I have used this carnauba wax on the tank and also on both the sides of the frame. And finally, to bring the deep black look for the tires, I'm using a sponge type shoe polish here. Make sure that you don't apply this polish onto the tire contact patch and apply it only on the sidewalls. Alright, that's it. Let's see the final results.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work cause my boss is a jerk and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life cause I don't feel alive and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?